Talk to me nice, huh?
This situation blew up overnight, and the timing couldn't be messier. Brandon Ingram has reportedly walked away from Glorilla just as rumors hit the internet claiming she might be pregnant, and not everyone is convinced he's the father. Because right in the middle of all this chaos, Gotti's name keeps coming up, and not in a casual way. We're talking whispers of a secret relationship, behind-the-scenes overlap, and a situation that looks less like a breakup and more like a full-blown betrayal. And just when people thought they had the story figured out, Simmons drops a cryptic message that has everyone reading between the lines, wondering how deep this really goes. Because if her post means what fans think it means, this isn't just messy. It's interconnected in a way nobody expected. Now here's what makes the whole situation even wilder. On the surface, Glorilla and Brandon Ingram looked solid. She was publicly showing love, switching up lyrics during performances to shout him out, and making it very clear she was standing beside him. Fans clocked it immediately. This wasn't subtle. It felt intentional, like she wanted the world to know exactly where her loyalty was. And even when people questioned her for being a little too loud about it, she didn't back down. If anything, she leaned in harder, doubling down on the idea that what they had was real. From the outside looking in, it gave locked in, like she was fully invested in not playing games. Or at least, that's what it looked like. But then the tone started to shift. Quietly at first, then all at once. The internet started picking up on little details that didn't quite add up. Photos hit social media, and suddenly fans were zooming in, analyzing everything from angles to outfits. People noticed she wasn't dressing the same, less of the form-fitting look she was known for, more oversized fits that had folks asking questions. Then came the comments, the speculation, the wait-a-minute moments that started stacking up. Nobody had confirmation, but the rumor mill was already in motion, and once that starts, it's almost impossible to slow down. And the more she posted, the more people felt like she was avoiding the conversation without actually addressing it, which only made things louder. Then came the twist that took everything from speculation to straight-up chaos. Gotti entered the conversation in a way that changed everything. What started as whispers about him being too close suddenly turned into claims that there was something going on behind the scenes this entire time. And according to what's being said, he allegedly reached a point where he was done playing the background and decided to bring everything to light, putting Brandon Ingram face-to-face with a situation he never saw coming. Now, the story isn't just about a breakup. It's about who knew what when it started, and whether the relationship everyone saw was overlapping with something else the entire time. And with rumors swirling that he may be claiming the pregnancy, the stakes instantly went from messy to explosive. What really has people convinced, though, are the receipts that didn't seem like receipts at the time. Looking back, fans are connecting dots that once felt easy to ignore. The extravagant gifts, for example, like when Gotti showed up with a luxury Maybach truck for Glorilla's birthday. At the time, it was brushed off as label support, a boss celebrating his artist. But now, people are side-eyeing that moment hard. Because that wasn't just a thoughtful gesture. That was big, bold, and very public. And it didn't stop there. The diamond watch, the constant presence, the way he showed up for her events, it all started to feel a little too personal to be strictly business. Fans are now replaying those moments with a completely different lens, questioning whether what they were seeing was a soft launch disguised as mentorship. And once those dots started connecting, the bigger picture got even more complicated. Because this situation doesn't just involve 3 people. It may have impacted a whole other relationship. That's where Simmons comes in. There are growing suspicions that the timeline of all this overlaps with her past relationship with Gotti, which adds a whole new layer to the story. If that's true, then this isn't just a love triangle. It's a domino effect of relationships colliding behind the scenes. Fans are now revisiting everything, from past interviews to social media posts, trying to piece together when things really started and who might have been caught in the middle without even knowing it. And Angela's recent cryptic message? It's only fueling the idea that she knows more than she's saying. Because in a situation this tangled, silence doesn't come off as random. It feels intentional. What makes this situation hit even harder isn't just the rumors or the headlines. It's the emotional fallout that people are now revisiting in a completely different light. Because before all of this chaos, Angela Simmons was very open about how she felt when she was with Gotti. She wasn't vague, she wasn't guarded. She spoke about love in a way that felt genuine, grounded, and honestly hopeful. She described feeling happy, secure, and aligned, like she was finally in something that made sense. She even called him an inspiration, someone who motivated her to grow, to be better, to build something real. And when you hear that now, knowing what's being alleged, it lands differently. Because it's one thing to hear about drama. It's another to realize that someone may have been fully invested while something else was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. That's where the contrast becomes impossible to ignore. On one side, you have Angela speaking about patience, trust, and letting things flow naturally, believing in the timing of a relationship. On the other side, there are now whispers of overlapping timelines, secret connections, and choices that don't align with that image at all. And whether every detail is true or not almost becomes secondary, because the perception alone shifts everything. It turns what once looked like a solid, supportive relationship into something that feels fragile in hindsight. And for the audience watching this play out, it stops being just tea and starts feeling personal, like witnessing someone realize in real time that what they believed in might not have been the full story. And now, fast forward to where things stand today, and it's nothing short of chaotic. Brandon Ingram is reportedly out of the picture completely, stepping away from Glorilla as the rumors intensified beyond control. At the same time, Gotti's name is being pulled deeper into the center of the storm, with claims that he's not just involved, but possibly claiming responsibility for the pregnancy that sparked all of this in the first place. And Glorilla? She's now under a level of scrutiny that's coming from every direction. Fans dissecting her every move, every post, every appearance, trying to figure out what's real and what's being spun. But here's the thing. Nobody has come out with a clear, definitive statement that ties all of this together. So the story lives in this uncomfortable space between rumor and reality. One piece of information leads to another, but nothing fully closes the loop. And that uncertainty is what's keeping people locked in, refreshing timelines, watching closely, waiting for anyone, to finally confirm what actually happened behind the scenes. Because right now, every version of the story feels possible, and that makes it even more intense. And just when it feels like the situation might start to cool down, Angela Simmons drops that message, the one that didn't name names but somehow said everything. I want what wants me in life. What flows, flows. What goes, goes. Simple on the surface, but in this context, it reads like closure, like acceptance, maybe even like quiet confirmation that something wasn't right all along. And that's what has people pausing, rereading, and asking the same question over and over again. Was that just a general life update? Or was it aimed directly at everything unfolding right now? Because if it was the latter, then that means there's still a part of this story we haven't heard yet. And when it finally comes out, it might change everything all over again.